Been a tough spot here for Wisconsin and their backup goaltender, Kyle McClellan. But he's held up pretty well. 6 saves, only 1 goal allowed, replacing the starter, Jared Moe. Your thoughts on his efforts so far after Michigan swarmed Moe for 5 first-period goals?
Nothing but credit to the Wisconsin goaltenders, especially stepping in a difficult situation. Jared Moe, I don't think the pull was necessarily because of his efforts, more to kind of light a spark under the team, but no, he's done an excellent job so far.
Michigan up 6-2 after winning 6-2 last night. Pearson in front, and Granowitz able to deposit the rebound.
What a beautiful play here. And again, look at 2 Michigan players parked in the crease, Nolan Moyle and Nick Granowitz. Nick Granowitz is the one able to tap it home, but just exactly what you would expect from the senior from Macomb, Michigan. Planting himself there, winning a battle, tapping home a nice goal. Really nice job by Nick Granowitz.
Granowitz had the first goal last night. That was his 2nd goal of the season. And he's got a 2-goal weekend as Michigan continues to stuff the stat sheet up by 5.
And you're seeing these senior leaders come out. We've been talking about Eric Ciccolini and Nick Granowitz not to be outdone by his line mate and classmate. He's able to pot one tonight, so really good job by Nick Granowitz.
Michigan trying to keep pace with a Michigan State team that won earlier today. Penn State and Ohio State were deadlocked at 1 at last check. Right now, I think it's pretty safe to know that Minnesota will probably win the regular season crown and Wisconsin will finish in last. 2 through 6, good luck. A whistle here. There was some commotion over by the benches as they call offsides in this sequence, but the reality is this type of spot for guys like Ciccolini, a veteran for Michigan, they know you got to take care of home ice when you're in these spots.
Absolutely, and all these teams are so close in the standings. Any weekend can win and get you in the playoffs and get you that bye. So we're seeing some controversy over by the benches. I saw Stephen Holtz take some exception to a hit that was thrown by.
Yeah, there's Tony
Coach
Granato,
Granato,
the 7th-year head coach for Wisconsin. One of the great figures in all of hockey. And he wants to talk with somebody. He's going to get an ear from Brett Shiva. But there's a lot of frustration on that Wisconsin side. And certainly a little bit of it is with the officiating, but the large majority of it belongs to what's been a tough weekend for the Badgers. Outscored 13-4 so far at Yost.
Right. Yeah, so you're going to see what Coach Granato's so upset about here. A hard hit thrown on the Michigan player. You see Stephen Holtz with a little bit of a shot in the back. That's all right. You know, just let him know that he's here. Burst takes exception.
Unsportsmanlike.
And the penalties have made their way to that Wisconsin bench.
And I understand where Coach Granato's coming from, but you know what? There was nothing obscene about that play. It was a simple little shot kind of in the back. Just let him know, you know what, hey, you can't be going and laying out our guys. Like, we're paying attention. We're seeing what you're doing. We're going to get you back. So I don't understand why he's that upset about
Wisconsin
it.
is
Mersch
using a
goes
timeout
back.
to challenge for a potential major penalty.
I don't know where a major is here. It looked like just like a bit of a kind of a cross check in the lower back. But we'll see what the officials can come up with after review. Another review here. I think the NCAA may have to take a look at some of kind of the parameters of some of these reviews. It seems like it's taking up a lot of not only time, obviously, player safety does come first, absolutely. But you're just kind of seeing the chess game being played by these two coaches. Coach Naurato able to get a goal called back. So you're going to see it again here. A hard hit. I think that's a good, hard, clean hit thrown by Mersch.
And then there's that bump from behind.
I don't know, maybe they're going to look for contact behind, but again, there's not enough there. There's no body contact. It was more of a shove with the arms, and you're not going to be able to call a 5-minute cross-check in that circumstance. So,
could part of it be it's right in front of the Wisconsin bench? They see a little shove from behind from Stephen Holtz. Maybe it felt like it was more than it actually was?
I think so, and I think, like you said, I think it's a 7-2 game. Coach isn't happy about some exceptions being taken.
After review, there is no penalty, major penalty on the play. Wisconsin loses their timeout.
That's Brett Shiva's ruling.
I think that's the right call. And again, if it was contact to the head, even if it was like he popped him in the back of the head, even just lifted his helmet, fair enough. Maybe that's a major penalty. Because it's contact to the head, that's something they're trying to eliminate. but to take that out of the game, to just a little shot in the back to just kind of let them know that, hey, you can't be running around hitting our guys like that. I don't understand why Coach Granato's that upset. I think there's some other circumstances playing into that right now.
It'll be a 5-on-4 opportunity here for Michigan. Wolverines 3 of 7 on the power play tonight. They have scored 6 power play goals this weekend. Wolverines control the first faceoff of this power play. Edwards from the point. He scored from there earlier this period. Lets it rip again. Dylan Duke was there to try to tip it home. Michigan keeps it in. TJ Hughes, one-timer Edwards. Deflected off to the right. Michigan maintaining it in their offensive zone for a moment before Horbach able to clear.
You're seeing Michigan set up. They're really liking that high one-timer from Ethan Edwards, and also you see TJ Hughes on Edwards' left flank setting up for that one-timer. Just out of the frame, you see the Gavin Brindley in the same position, so keep an eye out for that. Gavin Brindley at the top of that circle for that one-timer.
And Hughes been awesome. 4 points tonight. McGroarty, that one off the chest of McClellan. Cleared out of there by Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin struggled kind of with those second chance opportunities. A lot of the goaltenders been making the first save, but haven't done a great job clearing. A better job there, clearing that second chance, getting that puck all the way down the ice.
McGroarty surveys the scene. Curls it back over to Fantilli. He's been quiet in this offensive barrage for Michigan. The Hobey Baker contender does have an assist. Hasn't really had many scoring options tonight.
Yeah, such a dangerous player, though. It doesn't take much for him, and all of a sudden we'll look back, and it'll be 3 assists and a goal, and it'll be like he's one of those guys that just seems to find the net and find the scoreboard, so you can never count him out.
Yeah, now league-leading 28 assists for Fantilli, the freshman.
Yeah, 45 points on the year now, leading the nation.
10 seconds on this power play. Over to Fantilli. Tried to get on the board there. Glove save from McClellan. Power play is done. Michigan had it in the zone for almost a minute. 2 grade A chances, but couldn't get it one to go home.
Yeah, much better job, but credit to Wisconsin's penalty kill. A better job clearing pucks and making Michigan have to break all the way back up the ice.
Draper able to beat out Wisconsin there. And now Holtz is over at that Michigan bench, or at that Wisconsin bench, barking at a few Badgers, including the captain, Dominic Mersch.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you see kind of these confrontations. It's, you know what, credit to Stephen Holtz.
Michigan 24, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct, 10 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct.
All righty. So, Stephen Holtz, he is whistled there.
Yeah, college hockey's difficult with that because, you know, at the next level, those two guys are going to fight. And whether you agree with the fighting or not, they probably would already drop the gloves and take care of it. But instead, they're kind of going to be jarring back and forth, and I'm sure this can continue. Mersch, one of the older leaders on Wisconsin. Stephen Holtz, definitely one of those guys as well for Michigan, taking exception to the hard hit that Mersch threw on the Michigan player earlier.
Yeah, and Holtz went over
so they
to the penalty box.
10-minute misconduct potentially.
But he's got to be gone. And now Holtz is telling Wisconsin to yap at him. He's getting the children of Yost hyped up. And now
Stephen Holtz, a fan favorite here. So that'll be a game misconduct for Stephen Holtz. He'll be out of the game. Fortunately, they do have the likes of Luke Hughes and Ethan Edwards, who have played 30 minutes in the past and will likely play 30 or more minutes each in tonight's game as well. It always hurts to lose a guy like Stephen Holtz, a guy that's physical, a guy that's a leader, a guy that's going to stand up for his teammates like he did. But now he's going to sit for the rest of the game.
So Holtz, who was emotional story last night, coming back after that lengthy battle with adenovirus, he is now one of the several who have been whistled for a penalty here tonight. And our second game misconduct. He's out. Philip Lapointe is out for Michigan. Last night it was Jack Horbach who was booted from the game. And an interesting one here as Michigan is well on its way to a weekend sweep for the second consecutive weekend here at Yost. And now you wonder just how physical this one will be. down the stretch, even though the score is a bit lopsided. Caulfield lost the handle, and Wisconsin will have to go snag it.
And this is one of those circumstances where it'll be interesting to see what the refs do to kind of mitigate any of the, like, you want to let these kids compete and go out there and do what they want to do, but at the same time you got to reel them back in when things get dangerous. And I think they've done a good job, especially with the head contact, kind of playing by the rule book right now. But let's see kind of how the refs keep control of this game as it may get out of hand.
Caulfield lost that one high. Badgers hoping for the power play to be the third time as the charm here. 0 for their first 2, and it's a minute gone. Keenan Draper, the one serving it here for Michigan, as Stramel can't shove that one home. Now Hallam. We saw him a couple of times last night with chances at shorthanded goals. Here, leads some clock, and Michigan shoves it away.
That's a penalty right there on
Yes,
Wisconsin.
it is.
That's an easy one too. That's like when you slash the stick out. It's a classic trick for a defenseman to stick your stick in the back of the pants and push down, but it's such an automatic goal. It's an automatic
2 minutes
penalty.
cross check.
So you're gonna see here. So you're gonna see 27. He's gonna stick his stick right in the back of the pants and push down. So he gets all the leverage. It's essentially a slew foot. Bit of a dangerous play. It's kind of one of those little subtle tricks, but you got to be much more subtle than that.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things you do in front of the net when there's a battle going on somewhere else. Just a quick little shot, but that's an easy call for the officials on that one.
So Judnoth, who has both of Wisconsin's goals, he heads to that penalty box. So there will be 28 seconds of 4-on-4 before Michigan will have a man advantage. And that Wisconsin opportunity, they had the puck in their zone a good chunk of that minute 30 plus. Couldn't find anything home. D. St. Paul, one of the alternate captains here for the Badgers. The junior brings it forward. Chance out in front there for Caulfield. And now Michigan will bring it forward. Chipped ahead, Granowitz with a chance. Tip up back by TJ Hughes, couldn't go.
What a beautiful pass. Unfortunately couldn't finish, but great timing, great look. Is able to hit on the breakaway, but not quite.
And now Michigan has the man advantage for a minute 20. McGroarty couldn't handle it. Able to regather. Fantilli slides it over to Samoskevich. He's got it at the point to Fantilli off the post. Don't know if that had the angle, but it still sounded pretty good. Now Luke Hughes, statue-like for a moment. Fantilli. Michigan with some patience. Fantilli sliced that one off the padding of McClellan. Now behind the goal, McGroarty. He and Brindley a two-man game. Still about 30 seconds left on the power play. Michigan has swarmed the Badgers here. Nothing has found the net yet. Fantilli. One-timer Samoskevich, and McGroarty couldn't chop it in. Brindley, what a save by McClellan. He was peppered there and held strong.
The way that this Michigan power play can adapt so quickly, running this high umbrella across for the one-timer. Gavin Brindley from that spot had a beautiful goal earlier and a nice assist yesterday on a very, very similar shot. But they go from that high umbrella and they're able to adapt and shift into the kind of behind the net looks to kind of the pop-outs. You saw it from the slot that resulted in a really nice scoring opportunity. Really hard for a defending penalty kill to make those adjustments to those different looks for Michigan.
Duke wins the face-off, and that deflection was almost a hat trick clincher for Ciccolini. Instead, Stramel trying to bleed the final moments off this now 8th power play for Michigan. Wolverines with 6 shots, half of them grade A opportunities. Michigan has swelled that shot total to 35. A minute to play here in this second period. Wolverines a 2-0 edge here in period number 2. Lucius, double clutch. Underneath, Portillo able to keep it away. And now more fighting. Duke going at it with Stramel. Oh, it's getting feisty here at Yost.
What a beautiful save, though, by Eric Portillo. A desperation play. He knows that it's under him. Does such a good job kind of scrambling, making good plays. Luca Fantilli still jarring with Lucius. Lucius, Wisconsin's most dangerous forward, kind of in alone, but Eric Portillo stands tall.
Let's take another look at this great save.
Lucius, a goal scorer. Eric Portillo, desperation, the big frame, 6'6", able to kind of scramble himself out. Good job by Dylan Duke getting in there, clearing out any Wisconsin bodies from jamming at his goaltender. So this is kind of where we talked about. The officials got to take control. Let's see how they do it. Are they going to start calling coincidentals? I think at this point you see one Wisconsin player in the penalty box.
Wisconsin penalty number 28, 2 minutes slashing. Michigan penalty number 25, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike. 4-on-4.
Yeah,
So
I think you have to at this spot.
Right, I think at some point, I would say pretty soon here, the officials are going to bring in the captains and say, hey, you know what, here's coincidentals right now, but from now on in this third period, we're taking one from each side. So one of you guys is going to penalize your team and put the other team up. So at some point, there needs to be repercussions. It can't just be going to 4-on-4 and letting both teams play, because this really does nothing. It does nothing to deter any kind of conduct. So I wouldn't be shocked if going forward they're going to just take one from each side, or give a double minor to one and just give one just a standard minor. So interesting to see kind of what they want to do and what approach these officials want to take for the rest of this game.
Yeah, this has been quite an interesting one at Yost. Moyle bringing it forward for Michigan. Inside of a minute remaining, so both Duke and Stramel will be in the penalty box when the third period begins. Caulfield spinning, and it's poked out of there by Luca Fantilli. A lot to like for Brandon Naurato and the Michigan Wolverines. Up by 5, a period away from a 5th consecutive win. And here's that early opportunity. Ciccolini almost came up with his 3rd goal a little bit ago on that awesome power play opportunity for Michigan.
Nice tip across the body. It's a savvy little play from Ciccolini, the senior for Michigan.
So a rare Wisconsin offensive zone face-off here. Michigan has had a lot of success in face-offs so far tonight. Final moments of the second period. Hallam with his speed. Can he generate one more chance? Edwards can't get anything going. But there's a whistle with .3 left, which is fitting of this choppy game here tonight at Yost.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes of this period or so, there was much more flow. The team's kind of getting their legs under them, and then we've been back into the kind of the penalty carousel. And you've seen Michigan now extending their shot lead to 35 shots, Wisconsin with 22. Wisconsin doing a better job than they did yesterday, but Eric Portillo with 8 saves this period. And then you have Kyle McClellan with 13, but certainly the more worked goaltender in the second period.
Michigan, couple of second period goals. Balloons this lead to 5. Our second intermission report comes up next here on Detroit CW50.